Hey there. Although I am involved with CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada, the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the participants and do not reflect those of CADAC. And now, cue the music.
This is the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, a show for high-achieving ADHD entrepreneurs. Together, we will inform and educate you about how to improve your self-awareness while developing systems, routines, and habits for conquering the entrepreneurial world. Here is your host, Andre Brisson.
Hey there, it's another short for the Impulsive Thinker podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada. You can get more information on their website at www.caddac.ca. This past week, you heard me talking to Geeta Ned Carney from Impact with Influence, and we were talking about visions, how to set visions. And for me, the biggest insight I got from her was tying an emotion to the vision. And man, that to me, that was tremendous. Very, 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 very big. Why? I've been setting visions. I've been writing visions for 20 some years or even longer, and I never seem to achieve it. And the one thing I noticed with a lot of us, like ADHD entrepreneurs, we set goals, we achieve them. We don't seem to care that we achieved them. We're on to the next. It's just an unending, revolving cycle of set a goal, off we go. We got the achiever part. Then we got the intensity and the drive of the ADHD to go. We get it, but we know when it's done, we don't want a post-success depression, so we start immediately on the next. We never really celebrate those wins. But the other thing too is, my observation for me primarily, I'm not too sure how it is about you. I'd like to hear about this from you if you can let me know at questions@theimpulsivethinker.com. What I observed was I never seemed to know when I actually achieved the goal. It never seemed to be enough. Yeah, I got the goal of, $100,000 revenue in this quarter or month. Okay, on paper I got it, but big deal. I could have done enough. I could have done more. I don't think I did enough. He says, what else could be done? It just never felt satisfying that I achieved it. And I think Geeta really tied it together. When you tie an emotion to a vision or to a goal, then you know you've achieved it because you can feel it. Everything I've been learning here, emotions, feelings and behaviors really dictate how we behave and how we do things. And to know how it feels to arrive, I think I know I'm going to be better. Knows, hey, I'm feeling this way. I'm here because I'm looking for a feeling, not necessarily a marker. And I think that was very profound, very, very profound insight. And now I'm actually looking back over my visions. I usually do a vision every year and then a vision for 10 years. ADHD entrepreneurs are really good at visions and seeing a future. But the thing is, we see a tree. We don't see the trees. We actually see the forest. So our vision is actually the forest, and the challenge is we actually very rarely do we see the trees. And that's where we need people to help us figure out the trees, to grow the trees, how to nurture them and harvest them, or nurture them, take care of them so we can have a healthy forest. And I think if we got people there who can see the trees, we can set a better path. Now, the feeling part is, to me, that's a night and day thing, because I think the other thing too is I'm wondering if this is true for you. When I write my visions, they're very vague. I want 20 people. I want 2 departments. I want 100 people. I want 100 people in my program. I want to help 1,000 people with my podcast in the next 2 years. But nothing extra about what it looks like or how it feels is in there. And I think that's very important. So when our visions are vague, it's very hard to set a path to where we want to go. And I believe that if we can make it a little more specific and measurable, it'll be easier for us to set a path to achieve that vision. So, for me, I set a goal a couple of years ago. I wanted to help in a year, I think it was 18 months, I want to help 1,000 people with ADHD. It's a great vision, but it's quite vague. Yes, 1,000 is specific. 18 months is specific, it's measurable. But at the same time, it's still vague enough to know that even if I get to the 1,000 within the 18 months, what does that mean? So I think by applying this feeling stuff about it, I'm a man. We're not supposed to talk about feelings. But with ADHD, since we're always intensely, immensely feeling emotions, open up. Let's talk about it. Let's just deal with it. And everything that we do all has an emotion tied to it. So if I get to 1,000 people helped with ADHD within 18 months, I'm going to feel proud. I'm going to feel elated that these people are being heard and that they're being understood and validated. And I'm helping them see a different future possibility, better than what they have now, and understanding that their ADHD can be managed. They can go do things that they really like to do and enjoy, and then start enjoying life and find calm. So having those emotions in place, but how am I going to do it? I think the vision also has to incorporate an element of how you're going to do it. So 1,000 people is through my podcast, also through the ADHD transformation journey, and also how I'm speaking out and openly talking about and raising awareness for adult ADHD, primarily in the entrepreneurial world. So we got some avenues there that now we can take from that vision and build some paths with the right team members. I was very empowered by the chat with Gita about attaching an emotion to the vision in order for you to know you've achieved it and you've arrived, was I think the term she used. And I'm pretty sure, my ADHD head's kind of like enough for forgetting this detail, but I'm pretty sure she also said tie it also up to a goal also. If you tie an emotion to a goal, I think you'll be able to know you've achieved it. I can better celebrate because I'm feeling it. I'm able to stop because better than, I think it's harder to overrun if you're feeling this elation or proudness because you've already defined it as something to be looking for. And once you've seen it, you're like, I've achieved the goal that I wanted. I'm feeling what I feel for. I know this is going to be a better way. Like, to me, this is a really profound way of looking at things. Now, another vision I have is to build a community of ADHD entrepreneurs that I've been looking for my whole life. Okay? Now, when I know I've achieved it is when I feel accepted, that I feel like I'm at home, I feel like I'm understood and comprehended, and then I feel content, and then I'm energized to help these people get to know themselves better so they can take ownership of their ADHD, control their ADHD, own it, own their life, own their companies, and own their enjoyment. Energized, content, and to be in a room of people where you can just walk in and just go, I'm home. I'm with people who get me, and I have not opened my mouth yet. I just know it. Now that's a feeling I'm looking for building a community, especially with the ADHD transformation journey program I've developed. That's what I'm looking for. I'd like to know what you think about tying an emotion to your vision, how that would change the visions you have now. Let me know if this short has any resonance to you. I really want to hear about this and what you think. So you can send it to me at questions@theimpulsivethinker.com via email, or you can reply to my newsletter every week about the episodes. I really want to hear from you. And if you think this resonates with you or for some other people, even non-ADHD people, because I think tying an emotion to vision, I think it's tremendous. It's for every entrepreneur. Please share it with 2 or 3 friends. Share a comment. Give me a rating so we can help more people with this to achieve. And, please help me get to 1,000 people in the next 18 months. Thanks again for listening. I do appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Impulsive Thinker podcast. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, please visit theimpulsivethinker.com. The Impulsive Thinker podcast is produced by Tactical Breakthroughs and hosted by Andre Brisson. Remember, ADHD is only a part of you, not all of you.